In a previous training video, you learned how to convert any text into gold easily in a few steps, change the text or font without redoing the gold text effects steps again, save the gold effect as a custom style and reapply it to another text object, convert gold text into a silver text, and add highlights to enhance the gold effect to add a sparkle effect. In this video, however, instead of text, I will show you how to convert almost any object to gold easily. This is particularly useful for creating statues and trophies, to name a few. Notice I said almost any object. It is essential to remember that the more highlights, shadows, and texture an object in an image has, the better the gold effect will appear. This similar image has only flat highlights, shadows, and texture that was converted to gold using the same steps. Notice how it did not convert as well to gold as the other image. I will also show you some additional bonuses if you watch this video to the end. And by the way, you don't want to convert some objects to gold. Remember what happened when the Israelites created a golden calf? While there's a boatload of videos on YouTube on how to create this effect, many of them do not tell you why they're doing specific steps, which leaves you at a loss. And many of them use a host of refinement steps that you may or may not need. This video is designed if you want a very quick way of creating a gold effect without much fuss. There's a host of methods that can be used to create a gold effect, depending upon the type of object in the image. I will show you two methods of creating a chrome effect before creating a gold effect. However, you may want to use another YouTube video to get the desired results that includes additional steps for creating other effects. This module is part 6 of a multi-part Photoshop Essentials Made Easy series. The goal of this series, however, is not to create pixel-perfect images, but rather to create classical effects without getting caught up in the weeds. Open your version of Photoshop if you would like to follow along, and let's get started. Process step 1. Prep the object for the gold effect. Let's first isolate, desaturate, refine, and remove details from the object that you want to convert to gold. Open an image of an object you want to convert to gold. In my case, I have a runner. Press the Command or Control key and J to duplicate the layer to keep as a backup if you need to use it later, because the effects applied to this image will be destructive, meaning that they cannot be undone. Rename the new layer Chrome using the implied image method and turn off the original layer visibility so that you can see the image against a transparent background when a layer mask is applied in the next few steps. Make a selection by whatever means, depending upon your version of Photoshop. In my case, I'll use the Quick Selection tool and then click the Select Subject button. Click the Add Layer Mask icon at the bottom of the Layers panel to isolate the object against a transparent background, denoted by the checkerboard pattern. Click the link below for my training on unmasking the mystery of the mask, for details on creating and using 8 different mask types in Photoshop. Click the adjustment layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel, select Solid Color, choose a black color, and then click the OK button to add a black background layer. Then move the layer below the image you just cut out. While the black background is not required, it may help to identify any refinements that may need to be made in the layer mask. and help the gold object to shine in the dark, so to speak, when it is converted to gold. If necessary, refine the selection by whatever means. In my case, I will select the layer mask thumbnail, zoom in on the canvas to the problem areas, and with the foreground color set to black, press the B key to activate the brush tool, and paint with black to refine the layer mask as needed. It doesn't have to be perfect for this training exercise. Press the Z key to activate the zoom tool, and then hold down the Alt or the Option key and click on the canvas as many times as needed to zoom back to the original zoom level you started with. Select the Chrome using the Applied Image method image thumbnail and not the layer mask thumbnail, and choose Image Adjustments Desaturate to remove the colors to create a grayscale image. You could have also used the Image Adjustment Black and White to remove the colors. If necessary, select Filter, Blur, Surface Blur, and adjust the radius to smooth the surface without distorting the image, which makes for a better chrome effect. Click the Preview button to see the before and after views. You can also press the P key to toggle the Preview checkbox on and off when a dialog box has a Preview checkbox. Click the OK button to close the dialog box. Process Step 2, using the Applied Image method to apply a chrome effect. Before converting the object to gold, we must first convert it to chrome. I'll show you two methods to create the chrome effect. The first is to use the Apply Image method, which does most of the work for you, like merging layers, as we will soon see. With the Chrome using the Applied Image method layer selected, choose Image, Apply Image. The Apply Image dialog box that appears is used to apply a source image, either the same image as in this case, or another image, to a target image or layer mask using a channel in a blend mode. Set the source to the current document name, which is the default. The layer to Chrome using the Applied Image method, which is the same image as its source. The channel to RGB to use all of the color channels in the Alpha Channel panel, and blending to difference. The reason the image is completely black is that both the source and the target image have the same color pixels, so the difference blend mode cancels out each of the pixels, making them all black. To prove this, let's look at how this happens with the blend mode operation in the Layers panel. If two images that are the same are stacked on top of one another, and the difference blend mode was selected, the canvas would be completely black. However, if you select the Move tool and hold on the Shift key and press the left or right arrow key to move the top image 10 pixels at a time, you will see the image change because the underlying color pixels no longer match the same pixels of the top image. Select the Invert checkbox to invert the top image. In this case, the source image pixel has been inverted, so you get this semi-metallic effect. You don't need to know the details of blend modes to be successful at creating effects. You just need to know what they do. Just like you don't need to know how the digestive system works to enjoy eating. How many of us appreciate that fact? Toggle the Preview checkbox to see the before and after view of the image. Remember, you can also press the P key to toggle the preview on and off. How cool is that? Then click the OK button to commit the changes. Choose Image, Apply Image again, and let the magic begin. Doing this step again helps enhance the chrome effect to be even stronger. To prove this, click the preview checkbox to see the before and after view. This time, simply click the OK button because Photoshop remembered your previous settings. Optionally, if there are areas of your image that are dark that needs further refinement, select the lasso tool, hold on the Shift key, and draw multiple rough selections around those areas, and then choose Image, Apply Image again, and then click the OK button. Choose Select, Deselect to deselect the selection created by the lasso tool. Now you have an even more refined chrome effect, just like refining gold. Process step 2. Using the blend mode method to apply a chrome effect. Let's look at a second method to create the chrome effect without going into much detail. Select the bottom layer and press the Command or Control key and J to duplicate that layer. Rename the layer Chrome using the blend mode method, and then move it to the top and turn it on. Then turn off the visibility of the chrome using the Applied Image method layer. Hold down the Alt or the Option key and then drag and drop just the layer mask thumbnail, and not the whole layer, to the top layer to duplicate the layer mask on that layer. Select the top layer image thumbnail and select Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. Optionally, select Filter, Blur, Surface Blur again, and click the OK button. With the top layer still selected, except for the blend mode, I'll use a series of shortcut keys to speed up the next steps. Press the Command or Control key and J to duplicate the top layer. Press the Command or Control key and I to invert that layer. Select the difference, blend mode. Press the Command or Control key and E and press the Apply button to apply the layer mask before merging the current layer to the layer below it. Repeat the previous 4 steps to strengthen the chrome effect. Optionally, if there are areas of your image that are dark that needs further refinement, select the lasso tool, hold on the Shift key, and draw multiple rough selections around those areas and then repeat most of the steps. You now have a really cool chrome effect. Process step 3. Apply gold effect on top of the chrome effect. Now that we have applied a chrome effect to an object, we now need to apply a gold effect to it. Select the chrome using the blend mode method layer if it is not already selected, and then click the new adjustment layer icon at the bottom of the layers panel and select Hue Saturation from the menu. In the Properties panel that automatically opens, select the Colorize checkbox and then set the following to your liking. Set the hue to set the gold color you want. Set the saturation to set the brightness you want. And set the lightness to make the effect lighter or darker. Toggle the layer visibility icon either in the Properties panel or in the Layers panel adjustment layer to see the before and after view. Turn on the chrome using the Applied Image method layer, and then toggle the chrome using the blend mode method layer visibility to see that there is a subtle difference between the two methods. Choose the method you prefer. What if you wanted to convert your gold into copper or another metallic? Well, that's easy to do. Turn off the adjustment layer to maintain the chrome, aluminum, or silver metallic effect. Or, turn back on the adjustment layer and in the Properties panel, adjust the hue, saturation, and lightness to your liking to create another metallic effect like copper. See my previous video in the link below on how to create a sparkle effect. If you watched this video to the end, you deserve a gold trophy and a gold star. You should be very proud of yourself. If you have a classical effect that you would like me to demo, or if you have any questions, share them in the comments below. Click the link below if you want detailed information on my recently released training entitled Unmasking the Mystery of the Mask. If you're new to this channel, click the like, subscribe, and notification button so that you don't miss any videos like this one, and to help me promote this channel. Thanks for your thoughtful consideration in advance. And remember to share this video with your family, your friends, your enemies, your neighbors, your co-workers, your in-laws, and most of all, your outlaws.